Hi all, and welcome to my channel, Fred Makes Things, and our monthly quilt update video for you. In this video, we are going to be talking 3 different quilt updates. Update 1 is going to be the temperature quilt that I've been working on this year. Update 2 is going to be talking about the finished pieced quilt top from our mystery color value quilt along by Canuck Quilter, something like that. We've talked about this in the last couple of updates. And then we're also going to talk about the quilt that I'm getting started on next. And then finally, we're going to be doing a quick little updates from the community. So timestamps have been on the screen for you. They're in the description box. And they should be chapters in the video. So if there is a specific section that you want to see more than others, do feel free to use those timestamps to skip around. Before we get started, I do want to say hello, everybody. Hello to the new subscribers, the OGs, anyone in between. Hello to the people who are curious about what this video is and have clicked on and are still in here. And hello to everybody else who watches my channel who may or may not be subscribed. You are all so very appreciated here and so very, very welcome. You might catch glimpses of my thumb on my right hand through this video. I don't have a bandage on it anymore. My hand is feeling a heck of a lot better. But I do have like a healing blood blister, so you might catch glimpses of it, but I'm not going to like show you my thumb outright because nobody needs to see that. I just didn't want to go and find a band-aid to put on it. So if you see the bit of red in my thumb, it's just the final stages of a blood blister healing. Other than that, my hand is feeling a heck of a lot better than it has been. Definitely a lot better than last week, and even improvements from over the weekend and stuff like that, which made me happy because that meant that I could actually work on catching up on my temperature quilt. So, yeah, let's talk temperature quilt, part 1. So we'll move the other 2 things off to the side for now. So I have April attached now to the quilt top. We start here, and man, does it have like more of a kaleidoscope of color. Like even on screen, I think you could see just how many colors and that we have going on right now. The beginning of April looks very much like the end of April, which looks very much like the middle of April, right? With the exception of adding like 1 red day, which I think we talked about in last month's updates from the temperature quilt update, but I don't remember. So yeah, it's all attached. It's all looking pretty good. We were still getting below 0 degrees Celsius in the beginning of the month. That was this tealy color. But yeah, we're also getting hot now, right, with the reds and the oranges and the yellow. The temperature key is on the screen for you. Know the deep purple is the coldest color. That's all the way back here. And so far this pinky red is the warmest color, which I believe is like 26 to 30 degrees or 25 to 29 degrees, something along there. Pinky red is like that, and then orange is like 20 to 25. Yellow is 15 to 20. Light green is 10 to 15. This medium green is 5 to 10. Then this green here is 0 to 5, and then this one here is below 0. So yeah, looking pretty cool. Here is it laid out on my kitchen floor, so you can kind of see how the colors are transitioning from like the more greens, some blues, or blues into greens, right? We started to transition into yellow, I believe, last month. Now we're more into some of the oranges and some of the reds. So we are definitely in a couple of months of transition. And I firmly believe that when we're doing these months of transition, it's the months that I start to doubt myself in either my pattern or my color choices. But then usually by July or August, when you see everything balancing itself out, I'm like, oh, right, I do like this. And then around October, November, again, I ask myself, and by the time that I hit December, I'm like, oh no, I really still like this quilt. So I am kind of in the uncertainty with how the colors lay out and look together, but I'm really, really liking the pattern. I'm really liking how everything kind of lays, and I'm really quite enjoying it. So here is this month so far. I start every month with a solid block, and I'm working through my color range. So we started with dark purple, and now we're into the, what is it, 0 to 5 range or something like that. But here's this month's up to Monday, I believe, all laid out. So we're definitely staying warm in the morning, like during the day. Anywhere between 15 and 30 degrees, really. Yeah, and then on the bottom, we're anywhere from 5 to 15 degrees. So that's how this is looking. I'm really liking the pattern. And I like this. This reminds me of like watermelon. So that's a lot of fun. And this really reminds me of fall. I don't know why. So yeah, that is how the temperature quilt is going. If this is your first temperature quilt with me, your first update this year, highs are always on the top, lows are always on the bottom. I'm making half square triangles of whatever color combination comes up, making 2 of them, cutting it in half, trimming it down to 3.5 inches. So I start with a 4-inch block, trim it down to 3.5 inches, and then I hope and pray that the color combination comes up again. So like these 2 are probably 2 of the same block that I put together. Again, 2 of the same block. This one here is very odd, so I'm guessing that the other block for this one we're going to have sitting around for a while. But then when they're trimmed, I keep the highs on the top and I rotate which way the diagonal runs so that I get that really cool looking diamond pattern that's kind of forming in the temperature quilt itself. Really, really enjoying it. So now on to the junior interlude, apparently. Here I thought I was going to get away without having little baby cat make his appearance, but I guess I can't. Okay, part 2. I finished up the Canuck Quilter Quilt Along Quilt Top 2. Her last clue was last week, and yeah, so where we last left off, I was showing you the squares for the pattern, or the blocks for the pattern that you could see. And since then we added sashing to the exterior, right? So we have like a border here. This is going to be hard to show you like this, but I'll show you what I can, and then I'll lay it out on the floor for you. So how they had us do it is matching sashing for your light tone. You had 3 different tones. It's a color value mystery quilt, and she did light mid-tone, medium mid-tone, dark. And I decided to do white, grays, and blacks because I had enough fabric in them to do a baby quilt. So that's what I did. There was two different versions. There was the traditional version and the modern version. With the fabric that I had and the color layouts that she was suggesting, I decided to go with the modern one. For weeks on end, well, not weeks on end, it was like a 6-week, 7-week quilt along. She had us build our components, and then last month I showed you what the blocks looked like when they were all together. Here's a photo of the block on its own. From there, the following week we did sashing around the exterior. Here's a photo of that. It was taking that light mid-tone so that parts of your blocks kind of blended in together with white or your lightest cornerstones, which turned out to look really cool. And then last week she gave us instructions for our outside borders, which was pretty simple and straightforward. My borders aren't ironed yet, but we did black for the black and then like your white for your white mid-tone. And I'm so proud of this quilt. Not all of my points are perfect, but it looks so good. It looks so nice. Here's the photo of it laid out on my floor. It came out to be a decent size too for like a baby, they call it like a baby quilt. I have a couple of different backing fabrics that I can use for this, so I haven't quite decided where I'm going to go for the backing fabric, but I am going to say that I'm going to practice quilting with this guy because it turned out so cool. If this is a pattern that you're interested in picking up, like if you like the look of the quilt itself, the Canuck Quilter does have it available on her website. I don't know how much the price is, but I'll put it up on the screen for you, and I will link the pattern in the description box too, if I remember. So if this was something you wanted to pick up, you can. But yeah, 7 weeks. It's pretty easy to manage. Like some ladies who were following along were doing like king-sized quilts, and I was like shocked because it's like you don't know what the pattern is going to look like in the end, and you're just going to like blindly trust and do all of this work. Could you imagine doing it all and not liking it? Oh, I'd be devastated. And then others liked the layout that was decided on, right, by the Canuck Quilter, but turned the blocks on their side, right, to do it like a bias kind of thing. Man, did those look cool too. So if I were to make this quilt again, I would make it bigger, and I might actually turn it like some of the people in the group turned it, because I thought that they turned out really cool as well. So yeah, I'm going to follow the Canuck Quilter more, right? I am subscribed to her newsletter or her whatever it is that she has going on. And if she does another quilt along or something like that, I'll most definitely probably follow along with it. This is the second quilt top that I've made with her patterns. The first one was last year's temperature quilt. Here's a photo of that laid out on my floor. That is at the Long Armors. I actually managed to drop it off this weekend. So we'll be talking about that in next month's temperature quilt. Or next month's quilt update. Like, how cool is that going to be? And then finally, we're introducing you to our third quilt that we're working on. I'm sure you figured out what it is. Kittens and Cups. So this is the first quilt block that I have made with them. It is far from perfect, but I'm pretty proud of my first attempt at this quite complicated block or quilt block. The pattern calls for 12 of them to make a baby quilt, but I decided to go hog, and I'm making 22 cups, kittens and cups, out of different fabric combinations, different cat color combinations, different fabric combinations, and then I'm going to finish it at a 20 kitten cup quilt, I think, so it would be 4x5. So massive undertaking. I've cut out all of the pieces. Here's a photo of that for you. That's what I did the majority of last week when my hand was bothering me because I couldn't do a lot. I couldn't really do crochet last week couldn't do a lot of manual like tasks, manual labor kind of stuff, but I could hold a ruler down and stuff and cut because I am left-handed, right? So I could use a rotary cutter and just cut all of my fabric out, but it was quite the undertaking. And now everything is together, it's labeled, and as I have time, I'm going to work through it and make kittens in cups as I have the chance. Here's a photo of what the pattern front looks like for you, so you get an idea of what we're doing. I got it in last year's Pink Door Fabrics Tula Pink pre-order for Tabby Road, their cat, or Tula Pink's like cat collection last summer. So I've had this quilt top, this quilt pattern for a while, but this is the first one, and I'm really, like I said, I'm really happy with how it turned out. The head is like a whole bunch of steps, the cup is a whole bunch of steps, and then this handle is deceptively simple looking, but it's like you take your one large piece, you put like a square of fabric that you're using on it on one side, square on the other side, square on the third side, trim it all up, right? Make like a whole bunch of corner squares. And then you take another square and you layer them on top, and that is how you end up getting this cup shape. Like I think you can kind of see on the back that we have like square, this is a square, right, followed by a bigger square, things like that. Please ignore the back, it's a bit of a mess, but it's my first one. It took me like 2-3 hours to put together, but I'm pretty happy with it. And I got some words out of this one. I've got kindness, love, care, craft, almost all of celebrate. So I'm really happy with it. And that is what I can share with you for kittens in cups, because it's like brand new. And did I sew those on backwards? No, okay. Whew. Those polka dots looked so faint, I was afraid I did it all backwards and I'd have to rip it all out. So those are the quilt updates for this month. I'm really enjoying taking my time working on quilts rather than trying to work to a deadline. I said that last month and it holds true this month. So now on to updates from the community. I have 2 different people sending me update or photos to share with all of you. First off, we've got Susan, or our Pepper Pot. You can find her over on Instagram. And I'm gonna share with you a boxy pouch that she made out of some really pretty fabric that has like a absolutely beautiful purple lining on the interior. I think that it's just so cool. She also made like a binder caddy pouch pocket thing. She said this was like her first time working with vinyl, and I think it turned out really cool. Kind of a different vibe from her pouch. She said she's gotten started on a quilt, but I forget what the quilt name is called, but she has like a quilt block that she shared. And then other things, but those are the 3 that I think I want to highlight today. Boxy pouch, binder binder pocket thing, and a quilt block. She's enjoying making bags and pouches and things like that, so it's really cool kind of seeing what she has to share. And I also like seeing like a little bit of Halloween in the spring, because it's her favorite time of the year, so it's kind of cool to see that pop up. And then we also have Kenyadda from Kenyadda's Hobbies here on YouTube. She has been crocheting up a bunch of crochet tote bags that have like a lot of structure to them. I just saw she's working on like a rainbow one and things, but she has been focusing on doing like Harry Potter themed tote bags. So she has a Hufflepuff and a Slytherin all ready to go. I think her color choices are like just wonderful. I like her lining as well. I think they're pretty cool. And I don't know if these specific ones are available on her Etsy shop, but I know she has a couple of different options, or she will have a couple of different options on her Etsy shop. So if you're interested in something like this, you can go check her out. She's going to be listed in the description box as well, and then if you want to go over to her Etsy, you can find that linked through her YouTube channel. So yeah, such cool creations that everybody is working on right now. I also just wanted to shout out the couple of people who sent me pictures of their own progress. I had a couple of Sewers Club updates and a couple of other things from people who just wanted to share what they're working on with me. So I love seeing those too. I love getting emails showing what everybody is working on. So if you have something you want to share with me but you don't want to share it with everybody else, do feel free to send me an email at fredmakesthings@gmail.com, and I'm always happy to take a look and celebrate the creations that everybody is doing. So yeah, that is this month's quilt update. 3 quilt tops I'm working on. 2 quilt tops are at the long armors. Seeing what other people are working on too, and just like kind of enjoying this spring and being able to create. And I'm really happy that I'm able to start like doing like mild sewing and easygoing stuff and catching up on my temperature quilt with my lovely hand. So yeah, I think that's all I want to say. What do we have coming up? I was hoping we were going to do an unboxing on Friday, but the 2 boxes that are still 3 boxes, but the 3 boxes that are still expected to arrive this month, I do not think are going to arrive in time for a Friday video. So I don't know what Friday is going to be. But it'll be interesting to see it when it is. Monday should be an unboxing no matter what, because like when I'm filming this on Tuesday, I've got confirmation on 2 of those boxes shipping, so you would think that like within a week I would get them. Wednesday is our Sewers Club project review. That is nearly finished. I have that upstairs too, just waiting for me to do the final few steps on that, and then the following Friday again is unknown. So if you want to be surprised along with me, do think about subscribing, and we can all see what we have coming up in the next couple of weeks. Like the video if you liked it, if you've made it to the end. Do let me know what you think, if you're enjoying how these patterns and colors and stylings are all starting to come together. I'm always curious to hear what others have to say. Hopefully it is kind. And yeah, with all of that being said, I'm going to say thank you so much for watching, and I will talk with you again soon.